Why do so many of us find ourselves wearing masks that disguise our true identities in the social arenas of our lives? Is it the fear of rejection, or perhaps the desire for acceptance that compels us to present these facades to the world? This widespread tendency to prioritize the approval of others over our own authenticity significantly impacts our confidence and mental well-being. It's a phenomenon that reveals a deeper crisis, our struggle to remain true in a world that often rewards conformity over genuine expression. Epictetus, a sage of Stoic philosophy, wisely stated, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." Yet how often do we abandon our own voices to mirror what we believe others expect from us? Saying yes to extra work, we dread laughing along with others at jokes that do not amuse us, or hiding our true feelings to maintain superficial harmony. Each act of conformity chips away at our self-respect and inner peace. This chronic abandonment of our personal truths doesn't just lead to temporary discomfort, it fosters a profound sense of self-doubt. We start questioning our own values and decisions, which feeds into a cycle of anxiety dominated by the fear of disapproval. This fear can paralyze our ability to act authentically, trapping us in a cycle of stress and unhappiness. How then can we break free from the shackles of people-pleasing and cultivate a life that celebrates our true selves? This is the question at the heart of today's exploration. But before we begin, I have a small challenge for you. Follow along and watch this video until the end so you don't miss any valuable insights from Stoic philosophy. Join us on our journey to discover profound lessons for a truly fulfilling life. Section 1. Understanding people. Pleasing people. Pleasing, a term often thrown around in casual conversation, is more than just a behavioral quirk. It's a profound psychological pattern where individuals prioritize the happiness and approval of others above their own needs. This tendency stems from various psychological roots, including low self-esteem, fear of rejection, and sometimes deeper issues like past traumas or the need for control in unpredictable environments. It's a survival strategy, albeit a counterproductive one, where the person believes that being indispensable to others is the only way to ensure safety and inclusion. Many people in today's society frequently exhibit people-pleasing behaviors. While this is common to some extent among many, a striking 95% of those who primarily identify as people-pleasers report that this tendency significantly affects their confidence negatively. This high percentage isn't just a statistic. It highlights a common issue where individuals feel unable to say no or assert their own needs, fearing they might face rejection or upset others. So why do so many people-pleasers battle with confidence? The answer lies in the constant self-sacrifice and suppression of one's desires and opinions. Continually molding oneself to fit others' expectations is exhausting and ultimately erodes one's sense of self-worth and identity. Moreover, the perpetual fear of rejection that haunts people-pleasers also plays a crucial role in their diminished confidence. The thought process is typically, if I don't do this for them, they won't like me, which is a precarious base for any relationship, personal or professional. This fear is not unfounded, as social psychology research indicates that people-pleasers are more likely to experience social anxiety and depression, conditions closely linked to low self-esteem and poor self-confidence. Section 2. The Stoic perspective on authenticity. Stoic philosophy, a school of Hellenistic thought, advocates for living in harmony with nature and emphasizes the development of personal virtues as the pathway to true happiness. This ancient wisdom teaches that the only good is moral virtue and the only evil is moral vice, while everything else, such as wealth, health, and even the opinions of others, is not inherently good or bad. This fundamental Stoic belief underscores the importance of authenticity and living according to one's true nature, which is rational and social. The Stoics argue that authenticity comes from living according to reason, which aligns with our nature as rational beings. By focusing on internal values rather than the shifting sands of external approval, individuals can attain a stable and serene state of mind. This inward focus is critical to developing personal integrity and self-respect, elements that are compromised when one lives in a way that seeks primarily to please others or conform to their expectations. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, offers profound insights into the practice of Stoic principles. In his personal writings, the Meditations, he emphasizes the importance of self-reflection and personal accountability, stating you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This passage highlights the Stoic view that true power and authenticity come from controlling one's responses and decisions, not from attempting to control external perceptions or reactions. Epictetus, another seminal Stoic thinker, also speaks extensively on the subject of authenticity in his works. He advises his students to focus on their own actions and judgments, which are within their control, rather than external events or opinions which are not, he famously said. If you wish to be a writer, write. This simple directive encapsulates the Stoic commitment to action based on internal values rather than external validation. Epictetus urges his followers to define themselves by their deliberate actions and choices, reinforcing the Stoic belief that authenticity is expressed through living in accordance with one's principles and rational nature. Furthermore, Stoicism teaches that the pursuit of virtue should be consistent and unwavering, regardless of external circumstances or pressures. This pursuit includes the virtues of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, all of which contribute to a life of integrity and authenticity. For example, courage is not just about bravery in battle, but also about the courage to be true to oneself in the face of social pressure. Justice involves treating others fairly and living in harmony with society, but it also requires being true to oneself and not compromising on essential principles. The Stoics also regarded living according to nature as living in acceptance of what life brings, guided by virtue. They believed that by aligning one's actions with one's true nature, rational and virtuous individuals could achieve eudaimonia, a term often translated as flourishing or the good life. This state is characterized not by transient happiness or material success, but by peace, resilience, and satisfaction that come from living a life of virtue. In the context of combating the tendency to people-please, Stoicism offers a compelling framework. It encourages individuals to detach from the need for external validation and to cultivate their internal virtues. By doing so, they not only develop a more authentic sense of self, but also contribute more honestly and effectively to their relationships and communities. The Stoic practice of daily self-examination or reflection on one's thoughts, art, and actions helps reinforce this focus on authenticity. It allows individuals to assess whether they are living in alignment with their values and what adjustments might be necessary to maintain that alignment. In essence, the Stoic emphasis on authenticity is about more than just honesty. It's about aligning one's life with the deep underlying principles that govern a well-lived life. This alignment frees individuals from the tyranny of external expectations and allows them to live with integrity regardless of external circumstances. Through the teachings of Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and other Stoic philosophers, we learn that authenticity is not merely about being true to oneself in a superficial sense, but about committing deeply to the rational and virtuous path that defines our very nature. By adopting this Stoic perspective, people pleasers can shift their focus from seeking approval to cultivating inner virtues, thereby achieving a more authentic and fulfilling life. This transformation is not only beneficial for individuals, but also enriches their communities by fostering genuine interactions based on virtue and mutual respect, rather than superficial appeasement. We'd love to hear your thoughts on this topic. Do you agree with the Stoic perspective on authenticity? Please share your insights in the comments section, section 3. The consequences of inauthenticity. Inauthentic behavior, particularly when it revolves around pleasing others at the expense of one's own values, can have far-reaching consequences for an individual's sense of self and psychological health. Stoicism, with its strong emphasis on living in accordance with one's true nature and values, provides a critical lens through which to view these consequences. The first consequence: loss of self-identity. In the quest to please others, it's alarmingly easy to lose sight of who we truly are. Consider the case of a dedicated employee who, in an effort to meet every demand of her superiors, consistently neglects her own career, aspirations, and personal well-being. Over time, she may find herself unable to pinpoint what she genuinely desires from her career, because she's so used to putting her own goals aside. Can you relate to sacrificing your own dreams just to fit into someone else's mold? How often do you set aside what you truly want, perhaps without even realizing it? Marcus Aurelius, a sage of Stoic philosophy, warns us about this very issue. He who lives in harmony with himself lives in harmony with the universe. When we disregard our own nature to accommodate others, we're not just losing our identity. We are at odds with the cosmos, which, according to Stoic thought, is rational and orderly. Each time we deny our true selves, we deny the very essence that connects us to the broader realm of existence. This disconnection manifests not just in professional scenarios, but also in personal relationships. Take, for example, someone who always agrees with their friends' choices of activities and opinions, never voicing their own preferences. Eventually, this person might feel like an outsider in their own group, unsure of where they fit in, when they're merely an echo of others. How then can we reclaim our identity and live a life aligned with our true selves? It starts by asking ourselves some critical questions. What do I value? What are my passions? Am I acting out of a desire for approval or out of alignment with my true nature? Remember, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. As Aurelius profoundly states, reclaiming your true self isn't just about personal happiness. It's about living in harmony with the natural order, which in turn fosters a life of virtue and fulfillment. By practicing this, you can begin to stitch back the fabric of your identity, leading to a more authentic, peaceful, and ultimately successful life. Second consequence: decreased trust in relationships. When we mold our actions and words merely to please others, aren't we, in essence, building our relationships on a foundation of sand? Imagine a friend who always agrees with everything you say, never challenges you, and mirrors your opinions, even when you know they hold different views over time. Wouldn't you start to wonder if they're being genuine with you? How can you truly trust someone when you feel that their agreement is just a strategy to win your favor? Epictetus, a stalwart of Stoic wisdom, aptly noted, if you wish to be loved, love, true connection, comes from mutual respect and authenticity, not from a calculated exchange of favors or agreeable nods. When sincerity is absent, relationships inevitably begin to fray. At the edges, people start to sense the lack of authenticity. They feel manipulated rather than valued, leading to distrust and a weakening of relational bonds. Consider a professional scenario where a manager always praises their team's ideas regardless of practicality or relevance. While initially this might foster a pleasant atmosphere, the team may soon begin to question the manager's judgment and sincerity. Can effective leadership really be founded on indiscriminate approval? The answer, resonating with the echoes of Stoic principles, is a resounding no. To live a fulfilling life, we must foster relationships based on trust and genuine interaction. Start by examining your interactions. Are you expressing your true thoughts and feelings? Or are you merely saying what you think others want to hear? As Marcus Aurelius advised, be honest in your word and deeds. Let this be your guiding principle. In doing so, not only will you enrich your relationships, but you'll also cultivate a life that's peaceful, happy, and deeply satisfying. Let authenticity be your cornerstone, and watch as your relationships transform into true partnerships built on the solid ground of mutual respect and sincerity. Third consequence, increased anxiety and stress. How often do you find yourself lying awake at night, replaying conversations, and wondering if you said the right thing to maintain peace or please someone? This pervasive anxiety stems from the constant need to gauge and adjust your behavior to fit others' expectations, a burden that can lead to significant mental and emotional exhaustion. Consider the story of Anna, a young professional who, driven by a fear of conflict, always agrees to take on extra work despite her already full plate. Over time, the stress of juggling too many commitments just to avoid saying no has left her feeling perpetually tired and on edge. Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, once said we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. This is particularly true for those who prioritize others' approval over authenticity. The imagined scenarios of rejection and conflict often drive people-pleasers into a state of chronic stress, which can manifest in both physical symptoms, like headaches and insomnia, and mental health issues, such as anxiety and depression. So what can we do to alleviate this self-imposed stress? The Stoic approach would advise us to focus on what we can control, our own actions and reactions, rather than obsessing over others' opinions. By embracing Stoic principles, you can learn to accept that you cannot please everyone and that rejection is a part of life. This acceptance can significantly reduce anxiety as it allows you to live more authentically, making decisions based on your values and integrity. Take a moment now to reflect. Are your actions driven by your true self or by a fear of how others will react? Marcus Aurelius reminds us, it is not events that disturb people, it is their judgments concerning them. By adjusting your perspective and aligning your actions with your true self, rather than with external expectations, you can cultivate a more peaceful, happy, and successful life. Let this understanding free you from the chains of people-pleasing and lead you towards a path of less stress and greater personal fulfillment. In addition, the 3 consequences mentioned above, what other consequences do you think that being dishonest to please people causes? Please share your insights in the comments section, section 4. Stoic solutions for building confidence. Stoicism offers practical solutions for building confidence by focusing on internal strength, rationality, and virtue. Solution number 1, focus on what you can control. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus clearly stated some things are in our control and others are not. By internalizing this principle, you can dramatically reduce unnecessary stress and build genuine confidence. It begins with distinguishing between what you can change and what you must accept. For example, you cannot control the weather, the traffic, or the mood of your boss, but you can control your responses to each situation. Ask yourself, how often do I focus on uncontrollable aspects of my life? How does this impact my emotional and mental well-being? Shifting your focus to actions within your control, such as your effort, your attitude, and your integrity, allows you to navigate life more effectively. You become proactive rather than reactive, which in turn fosters a more confident and resilient self. Marcus Aurelius once advised, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be one." Let this be a call to action. Start today by identifying one aspect of your life you've tried to control but can't release it mentally, and refocus your energy on something you can improve or influence. This Stoic practice not only reduces anxiety, but also empowers you to lead a more fulfilled and confident life. Embrace what you can control, let go of what you cannot, and watch as your life transforms into a more peaceful, happy, and successful journey. Solution. Number 2. Practice. Virtue and integrity. Stoicism teaches, but true confidence is rooted in living a life characterized by virtue and integrity. Imagine a world where every decision you make is guided by honesty, justice, and a commitment to personal growth. How would this change the way you view yourself and interact with others? The Stoic philosopher Seneca emphasized that a person's worth is measured by the worth of what he values. This means that if you value virtue and act with integrity, your sense of self-worth will inherently increase. Consider the example of a business leader faced with the decision to cut corners to increase profits. By choosing to uphold ethical practices, even when it might cost more in the short term, the leader not only maintains their integrity, but also builds real confidence through the assurance that they are doing the right thing. How often do you compromise your values under pressure? Do you follow the crowd or stand firm in your beliefs? Practicing virtue involves making tough choices, sometimes at the expense of personal gain or popularity. It requires a steadfast adherence to what is right, guided by a clear moral compass. Marcus Aurelius once wrote just that. "You do the right thing, the rest doesn't matter. Let this be your guide." Start by identifying areas in your daily life where you can practice greater integrity, perhaps by being more honest in your communications or more just in your judgments. Commit to these virtues and watch as they cultivate a deep, unshakable confidence within you. Adopting this Stoic practice not only enriches your life, but also influences those around you, creating a ripple effect of positivity and trust. By practicing virtue and integrity, you lay a foundation for a life of peace, happiness, and success. Let your actions reflect your highest values and live a life that truly embodies confidence. Solution. 3. Engage in daily reflection. In the journey towards self-improvement, Stoicism champions the practice of daily reflection as a critical tool. This method, when integrated into daily routines through meditation or journaling, allows for a profound assessment of one's actions and their alignment with personal virtues. For example, consider a manager who, at the end of each day, reflects on her interactions with her team. Did she lead with kindness and assertiveness? Did she provide constructive feedback and encouragement where needed? By contemplating these questions, she can identify both her strengths and the areas that need improvement. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, diligently practiced this form of reflection, noting in his meditations, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love." His words encourage us to appreciate and reflect on our daily experiences and our capacity to grow in virtue every day. How often do you pause to reflect on your daily experiences? Do you acknowledge your progress and setbacks? Openly engaging in this practice not only fosters a heightened awareness of your actions, but also builds a resilient and confident character. Daily reflection teaches us to recognize our accomplishments and face our shortcomings with courage, thereby promoting continuous personal growth. I urge you to embrace this Stoic solution. Each evening, set aside a few minutes to reflect on your day, what you did well, where you could improve, and how closely your actions reflected your true values. This simple habit can lead to significant insights and a more peaceful, happy, and successful life. Let your reflections guide you to a deeper understanding of yourself and a firmer commitment to your personal development. Remember, the path to confidence is paved with the stones of self-awareness and growth laid down one day at a time. These Stoic solutions are not just philosophical concepts, but practical tools that can be implemented daily to help anyone build a stronger, more resilient sense of self. In our exploration of how people-pleasing behaviors profoundly impact confidence, we've seen how the fear of rejection and the desire for approval compel individuals to wear facades, thereby sacrificing authenticity. Stoic philosophy, with its focus on virtue and control over one's internal state, offers a powerful antidote to this dilemma. By embracing Stoicism, individuals can cultivate a sense of self that is not reliant on external validation, but is rooted in self-awareness and personal integrity. At the end of today's lesson, reflect on this. How might your life change if you prioritized your values over the approval of others? Consider the freedom and confidence that could come from such a shift. Embrace the Stoic practice of daily self-reflection to truly understand and gradually transform your motivations and actions. Let this be your first step toward a more authentic and fulfilling life. If you feel these messages are valuable, please show your support by clicking like, leaving a comment with your feedback or questions about Stoicism or about your own life. Don't forget to share this video with your friends who also seek inner peace and strength. Finally, if you are not yet a member of our community, click subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any valuable videos we will share in the future.